Good morning, everybody. You guys had a restful weekend? All right. So it said, now the heavy lifting. Why so? Void is closed. Reached its destination. Typically, well, what should we expect from what's happened here? Well, the first thing is I certainly didn't expect it to go from here to here without a hitch. And as you look at the S&Ps, not the futures, um, just marching ahead day after day. I guess the most surprising thing was not so much the marching ahead day to day. It never violated a prior day's low. So as prices came down as hard as they did, the expectation was for a bounce. And of course, not only bounced, it like a ballerina leaped and just up, and never punching through a prior day's low. Not that closed below it, it just never even went underneath it. So an incredible run after an incredible drop in a short amount of time. So now it's up at this pivot high here, right? This congestion area. And you can see, and kind of like that run that occurred, kind of like the same idea as a wide range bar ending. Um, because a wide range bar is a bunch of little bars in a smaller time frame. So when prices accelerate as they did, it's suggestive that there'd be a slowing in momentum. It's exactly what's happening, and we got a lot of pivot highs, now pivot lows. They still bought the dip here early this morning, came back up, and maybe it goes higher, but the probability of another leap day like that is pretty low. You see where Friday was, just a resting day at that resistance. We'll see if it bounces around here for a few days, whether it's going to push up to new all-time highs. Internals have a little room left as far as sentiment goes to get through the upper band. Breadth is just at the beginning part of extended, so it certainly could get up there to 200 or better if there was an accelerated move. So we'll watch for that this week. And yeah, so a little rounding bottom. As far as the open goes, there isn't much room to move up there. You can see those pivot highs up there. You know, it's a decent setup here on a 15-minute chart, and the 5-minute, is trending up. Decent, not great. Just bottoming and chopping. At the moment, it looks like it'll continue higher. Let's go to the Nasdaq futures. Same story, up against the pivot high, the 50 MA. Little bit different, but up against resistance. Um, the Dow, a little relative weakness, but that came down super fast. You can see the trading range just whipping back and forth all year long. The Dow has just been in a wide, big trading range, and it's moving back up. And that's got room. That's got room to get up there. So maybe that leads the way early on. The Russell also underperformed, and that stalled in the middle of nowhere. The 20 MA is there, but that's subjective. You know? So nothing to the left. Let's squeeze this over a little bit. And there's really nothing there. This little congestion. I think it just stopped going up because everything else stopped going up. Uh, I would love to see this form what we call a 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know this isn't an inside day, but look, we have what we show as a textbook, and then a little variation would be okay. So this is above the high. If this was to come in and take out the low and form a bottoming tail bar, that would definitely be a go-to. Which would take until tomorrow for that to happen. I'll show you what a 1, 2, 3, 4 is. Alex shared this with myself and others in the room last week as this was shaping up. Wide range bar, inside bar, breaks the low, and then it goes. And so that's the setup. You don't know how it's going to react, but many years ago when we always traded 1, 2, 3s, 1, 2, 3s, 1, 2, 3s, and then it was like, well, these 1, 2, 3s are getting stopped out because we put the stop under the inside bars low. And then I continued to follow the trade. What happened? Hey, we got stopped out and it went up. I was like, okay, Greg, can you count to four? And 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do often refer to that as a money bar because it's a setup that is so reliable. The wide range bar is an igniting bar because it's coming from a move down. It can happen in different ways, and then an inside bar, and then this bar breaks the low. Right, it's a red bar prior to completion, and it comes right back up to the high. Clearly, there are buyers on dip. They continue to buy into the end of that time period, and if it's got room to go up, historically, it does. So, nice little setup. All right. Bitcoin down a bunch today, but just trading inside a range. I got alerts at the top and the bottom. Looking at cash markets, NDX, same thing, pivot, 50 MA, composite, 50 MA, pivot, SPX today. Right, actually up here at a whole number. If we should get some movement up to the upside, and there's premium above 5,600, should be a no-brainer. This looks a little tight. Let me just see where SPY is for a moment. It's moving up, right? So it's right at the top of Friday's range, maybe a little bit above it. And you can see the hourly chart there, the resistance. So a little bit above it. Let's go back here and maybe, what did I do with the options? Just had it open. Darn. Windows. Options. There we go. All right. So let's see what happened here. By 5,500. Yeah, so that they're coming up. They move fast. So I show you this market. It's not like, well, you could do it. I mean, because historically, if you just did every one with the numbers that were there, more than 99% would make money. But you'd sit through maybe some horrific moves. All right. And kind of weird how they have this set up. It's at 55. It's probably some premium up above that. No. So 5,600. It's a whole number. It's right here now. It's not that it's that far away, but it's a high probability stopping point should it go up there. That's what we're looking for the credit spread. All right, interest rates. Not doing much of anything. So this week, the Fed chair talks on Friday, and everybody will be waiting to see what he has to say. What I wrote in the letter over the weekend. We tend to forget these things, but everybody's expecting, and remember, recession was coming, the big boom, the big drop in interest rates. Oh, they're going to have to cut at least 0.5%, maybe 1%, and then lo and behold, and it was like, oh, I don't know, like the data didn't make a difference anymore, and explosion right back up. But in his last comments, he used the word multiple. So I think that will be one of the words to see if he repeats that word when he speaks on Friday. But Friday's a long ways off. All right, gold broke out. It's down a little bit this morning. Not a big deal. You can see the weekly chart. So that is a go. And silver, little catch up, but it's at a pivot here. I think it's going to back and forth a little bit. The Fed guy talking, FOMC minutes, which shouldn't be a big deal, but the market kind of walks on eggshells, and then all of a sudden it just falls like proverbial rock off the roof, and then bounces like a rubber ball. Yeah, crude oil, and it's at an interesting place here, meaning it's at the bottom of the range which it bounced from, and now it's pulling back enough. I never like when they pull back under the wide range bar, but it's in a trading range here. So, we'll just have to see because see, this wasn't a wide range bar that breaks out of a tight base. It's a wide range bar that came off the bottom of the range and came up into resistance. So this type of a pullback isn't that unusual. But if it was a relatively tight consolidation and you got a wide range bar, and then prices pulled back and closed under the wide range bar, that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to go sideways in the upper half of the wide range bar. So it's an interesting place, meaning it came off of the bottom of the range. It's pulled back in a sloppy way. Let's see, set an alert and see if it starts moving up or it starts to drop. The ETFs don't look very enticing, depending on which ones you look at. You can see that looks like zero. This is services, looks bad, bottom of the range, but maybe it can start to perk up. We'll see. This one is in the middle of the range, but just messy stuff. Uh, some possible catch up here, with IWM possible catching up. We need KRE to kick it in. Consolidating down here, popped up. It didn't get very far on Friday, but maybe this is one that can begin to push up into here. Big banks already made the move. Oh, if any of them are up near this resistance, odds are they're going to stall. Biotech, which also moves with or helps move IWM. Not bad as far as being able to move up on a short-term basis. Not great, but we'll see what that can do. Semiconductors, I saw AMD was up this morning, but this year is kind of just blipping around. It's at resistance. So I think, again, we're going to be dealing with some heavy lifting, meaning difficulty to move like it was as it stalls. But transportation stocks, there could be some catch-up trades there, with little consolidation, and it's got room to go up. So Russell, transports, regional banks, some catch-up trades, and some of the things we'll be talking about in MT Live on Wednesday. So definitely sign up for that. I think it's going to be an interesting MT Live. They all are, but we call it dumpster diving in catch-up trades. So get registered. Not transports, the technology there up against resistance. So lots of things that have performed in a short amount of time. There's some things that have not, that could play some catch up. So we need to see which way the markets want to flip or chop around. And if they chop around, if the strong chops around at resistance, then that could be a good indication that the underperformers could do some catch up. So that's what we'll be looking for. And see what happens here. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, with the markets up so much, I was shocked how many bullish setups we found over the weekend. Um, we had a lot accumulated, got into a bunch of them. Uh, Alex and Sammy Boy gave me a bunch to look at. Some made it to the posts, but I'm gonna be I'm gonna be overwhelmed here with all the ideas at the open. Yeah, talking about catch up, this alarm just went off. Now gee, I put this in the category of potential bottoming. Um, it's potential. I don't know if it's bottomed yet. It's on a downtrend, but I like this gap reversal, the retracement. Rahul on YouTube asking about Momo. Yeah, it's a breakout. Bullish weekly monthly. Well, okay, so you're saying over Friday's high. I wouldn't go all in because it got smacked, but I would say maybe a third. You could start over Friday's high. You definitely need to stop Thursday's low though. But now see this weekly is a definite bottoming pattern with a void. So that I have the confidence. So, you got daily, weekly in alignment. All right, let me go through a couple of alarms here going off, and um, then I'll just start looking at the huge watch list. Here, UGB alarm just went off, another bottoming pattern. I think this was Sam's list or Alex. Oh, I think do I have this in the letter? And I posted so many trade ideas. Let me see if this one's official. No, I did not make this one official, but it looks good. That's a beautiful W bottom on the weekly. It's a buy setup on the monthly. Now, I wish we got in on Tuesday, but the entry would be over the high, stop under Tuesday's low. Let me put that on a window. It looks great. UGP. Carvana alarm. The entry for directional was Thursday, and we did talk about it as a 1, 2, 3. I just didn't like the morning intraday, but that worked. That's a put spread idea. Lulu, potential bottoming, but put spread idea. Alarm went off. Beautiful 15-minute chart. This is an inverse head and shoulders with them Friday morning being the little downside head. LI alarm, definite bottoming pattern. We actually entered this Friday by selling out of the money puts, getting a nice gap up here. I mean, look, I mean, as Greg said, dumpster diving. This is total perfect dumpster diving catch up trade with the technicals confirming. Daily, weekly, monthly. I'm not an investor in EV stocks, but we're technical traders, and then it's an amazing spot to enter. Raul asking about ALK buy setup. Well, you mean sell setup, yeah. And yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I like sell setups that have multiple bar turns instead of just one. So I would count this as a 4-bar turn. So, stop Thursday's high, relative weakness, downtrend, parallel 20 and 50 MA down. Yeah, looks good. In fact, it shows it up 22 cents. So I'm just going to set an alarm right now. 34.90. Computer. Okay, moment. Still going through alarms that went off. And ADM. ADM is a put spread. My up alarm went off. A little downside shakeout. I mean, this was it started as a climate. Not a great one because it came from nastiness. And then it failed. The Climo failed. And bottoming tail. Closing breakout. Void. So this is a great example of a failed breakdown, setting up a new opportunity as a put spread. I mean, it could be a day trade long too. I just, I'm not crazy about the target, but 20 MA, it could go up 2 to 3 days. Yeah, Fubo is on my list over here somewhere. I saw it as a gap up. They had some favorable antitrust lawsuit. I just don't like the entry here, Jesus, because it rallied from 130 to 185. So it's too extended on the 15 without a monster stop. But I like it if it sets up. All right, those are all the alarms that went off. Let's just plow through here. Yeah, Greg mentioned AMD. They're buying some company to, AI related to compete with NVIDIA. This was a total catch-up trade we did last week. Look at that gap reversal. Went sideways, price void, semis were strong, but it's a laggard. So this was a total catch-up trade last week. RA, why am I looking at you? Oh, the alarm went off. Yeah, it's up here somewhere else. I have a monster watch list. But look, daily, weekly, monthly, another catch-up. But not crazy about, the ideal entry was this Thursday, the gap from the buy setup. We're chasing a little bit. Core sloppy buy setup. But if it can get above, I don't know, Tuesday's high, put spread, but it's too sloppy for me for a put spread. Friday's high, put spread, RBTY. Pins, catch up, 1, 2, 3. Now this was what we call a gap and snap. It was a Climo. And then the trigger, as a general rule, we just say 30-minute high. But, as intraday traders, we'd be watching our entry. And it went sideways, price void. That looks great. ADM, we just talked about gold. Hey, Greg, I meant to text you, but on gold, since the trigger already happened, tell me if you want to enter in weakness a portion. EXR, I like Friday's high. I'm in the Sam's list now. PSA would be put spread. I just had FITB alarm go off. These you have a void. This is a regional bank. I just don't think they're going to go too high. But 1 to 2 day balance for a swing, possibly day trade also. VTR I don't like because it's the weekly is a Climo, so I'm going to delete that one, Sam. AMAD I do like, but it's trading weirdly. Like maybe one of you all can help me. Is it tied to like a buyout or something? It's just trading weird, like it can't go. But I have an alarm up here anyway. We'll talk about it if it goes off. KMB put spread idea. Another catch-up trade. I have an alarm. Sam, this one I love. AMPH. I did I marked up a chart explaining the power of this WRB consolidation. 1, 2, 3. Weekly bottoming pattern, downside shakeout, void. Monthly is actually a buy setup. Now I know it took out a prior low, but if this thing goes to 50, I like it. Sloppy, but kind of inverse head and shoulder. But I mean, this is slop, 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 DX, but you know, I'm not sure if I have an alarmer yet or not. EXAS. Now, this is actually a good example of how much data you look at, because this EXAS, on this data right here, it looks like the target is not very big, because look at this resistance. But I expanded my chart after looking at the weekly. So look at the daily. Um, well, no, I don't know. That's not the one I was thinking of. All right, TGX. This one is slopping around. Look how it started with a 1, 2, 3 right here. And it really didn't do a whole lot until Friday. Until Friday. It had a closing breakout. So now I think it's ready over the high. Maichin, I like a lot. Daily, weekly, monthly. That's a textbook inverse head and shoulders right there. Yeah, I'm going to cancel this EXAS actually. I had it in the letter, but yeah, I'm concerned of the target too as a new trade with the markets the way they are. But this one I like. This one I like. Sam's list, daily, weekly, monthly are in total alignment with a void. Who? Put spread. You see, look at all these overlapping bars. It's a total mess. But if you can sell the $60 Qs, giving it up here pre-market, actually on a little end top on the 5-minute, so which is good because I don't like coming out on Mondays or any day for that matter with a ton of things triggering, particularly, I mean, unless it's a turn day in the market, and it's not a turn day. BWIN, sloppy buy setup, PNW, another one could bounce 1 to 3 days with KRE, Greg showed you. This one's bullish daily, weekly, monthly, but it's sloppy. I'm going to delete it. RDN, 1 to 3 day bounce into the void. Donut, 1, 2, 3, I like. All right, pins alarm just went off. I'll watch that at the open. RA, continuation, daily, weekly, monthly. Fiber, I don't like. I'm going to delete it. There's not a good void. Triple M alarm. This was a big old gap on earnings, and it's holding incredibly well. That could be 30-minute high. MMC alarm, 1 to 3 day bounce is all. Put spread also if there's any juice, I forget. All right, RBA, Tyson, DLO. Man, okay, now the alarms are coming. 5, I forget what trade I have, but that's a bullish 15 for a day trade bounce. All right, RBA, Tyson, little continuation pattern. Forward up alarm, we're already long. So I would just, all right, Q selling off. So I don't really want things to trigger right now. I want to kind of chill here. DGX is an early alarm. Because my alarm did not go off on the other computer. All right, Ford. You remember the acronym for this? Ford Fix or Repair Daily. Y'all remember that? All right, Diamonds IWM. You all in the green room know I've just been flabbergasted of how related um not so much diamonds and IWM, but they are right now on the 5 minute chart. They're both just perking together.
And the one you wanted to know the symbol, ATKR, just took out the top of the base.
Okay. Yeah, we'll give ideally 30-minute high. I'm not rushing. All right. New stop on fix or repair daily. How about 1046? Oscar, you can add. Man, DGX now just hit. But Oscar, we're already in a half lot. I see Lulu moving. Mohawk is not official, Greg, but I set an alarm. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be swamped here. As always, I get the alarms going nuts. AMPH alarm. Um, CHRW. That was, yep, that's triggering. DGX triggered. MHK Mohawk is an early alarm, nothing to do. DOB.
BKNG,
Who?
BKNG,
Oh,
sort of a 1, 2, 3.
Duncan.
More of a day trade,
Yeah,
maybe go up for a little bit.
yeah. I have Donut in here, the sister has a swing, hasn't triggered. LH, we're already in. We're already in. It looks great. All right, Wigme was put a put spread or naked puts, I forgot. Um, or yeah, LI we're in. That came from you, Alex. That was a beautiful, beautiful setup Friday. I'm just swamped here. All right, CNO alarm, another regional that can go up 1 to 3 days. LI, yeah, we're already in it. I gave it as a directional also, but let's wait for a pullback for that. Let me see how much profit we have on our naked puts. I did a couple of different strikes. Yeah, I did the 19 and a halves and the 19s. All right, I'm gonna go high bid here, 4 cents. So LI. Let's move stop break even in the weekly options trader. LIs are only open in the Q's really selling off here. So I immediately look up. All right, AMD filled the gap. Apple is the weakest of the things. All right. With me, we were selling naked puts. LUMN. Yeah, looks great. Same continuation pattern. Target, you know, 695, just a tad under. Yeah, this, you know what I would, I talked about 3-bar reversals for sell setups. I would love this to, I would like kind of a topping tail and then range expansion engulfing bar, a donut trigger. I am way, way behind, but I'll get to them one by one. But yeah, this is could be the start of a turn. Yeah, Fitbit looks great. Yeah, my alarm went off. Yeah, 1 to 3 day trade, regional bank. Yeah, looks good. Um, yeah, KRE looks higher. RVTY alarm. It's an early alarm though, but over Friday's high. Looks like a 1 to 3 day bounce. Set a new alarm. 120 spot 60. Hope it doesn't hit in the first 30 minutes. All right. Mo. Yeah, that looks good. Yep, it was on my list. MMC, another 1 to 2 day bouncer pattern is all. Um, I like the 180 reversal, Mo, particularly if the market starts selling off, safety stock. I looked at there was no juice as a put spread, but directional I like. Um, and yeah, TGX, yeah, we're in already. I haven't posted it yet. All right, let me go through these. The pre-market. All right, ADM was a put spread. I just got to go through and see if they get the premium, but yeah, ADM triggered. Lulu triggered. These were put spreads. LI, it's not, we're already in. Airbnb. Okay, my alarm went off pre-market, but that's a false alarm. So let me just reset it. I like that it's green now. Let me move stop on Lima Hotel. Um, No, no, I can move stuff, break even. Yeah, yeah, I hope to be looking for shorts soon. I have an alarms on a couple of those. Wait, wait, this moves. No, I can't move stuff break even already. Two. I thought we had a better entry than that. I think we bought this at 226.62. Yeah, that's a typo. I'm because I just looked at those numbers and what? So that,
Nice flip up on cues after breaking the recent lows 5 minute. It's that resistance on the daily, but the 5 minute chart looks good. Next to the moving averages, spiders look a bit better actually. An IWM setting up. I'm hoping a 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah, that's the best looking. Yeah, catch up I like. What do you mean I WM 1, 2, 3, 4? Mine didn't look like that.
5 minute, yeah.
Okay. Pins. Yeah, let me see what trade I gave. I think I gave long calls with a limit, so it's not going to get hit. Let's see where it's at. Oh, that UGP is moving. I said I liked all time frames. Pins, $30 calls. Right now is 130 by 141. It was actually bid 127. All right, so I'll just leave it and it won't get filled unless it pulls in a little more. Uh, Another catch-up trade. UGP. Oh, does it? All right, I don't remember looking at this alarm. I guess I was too busy. But yeah, let me see where we're at. BZ, my alarm didn't go off, but yeah, it's posted. That's 77.75. I'm showing 17 cents, Steve. So I don't know what you mean price improvement. So no, now 18. I want 23. So but on the gap down, we should have been filled. I mean, lower prices. I don't know, I'll just leave it. But I think I had this as a directional also. Oh, well then I'll post it. So good. I'm always, wanting to be accurate in these things and ask people if they got filled. You see Carvana pulled in. So that should have filled. Charter holding tough. Cut is still weak. The entry obviously has to take out. Look at poor Riley. Carvana EDM Lulu. Oh, you were long calls? All right, awesome. Yeah, I gave long calls to the advisory letter. Well, I think I gave long calls. No, I said buy stock. All right, can y'all hear me? I had both computers internet blip. All right, cool. No, donut is a commodity. It's a sugar commodity. All right, driven has to get above Friday, LI. Wolf triggered. Animal sector. Hey, Sam, would you rather be a wolf or a sheep? Or is it Greg?
Yes. It's like Dan is gone.
Same.